So the point of the class was not just to teach you how to drive CAD, but to teach you the core way the system works so that you can create whatever you want in CAD with the lines and the surfaces, really understand surface modeling, right? And how that works and how to avoid the booleans and all that stuff. But I think we focused a lot on how you can design jewelry that a jeweler or a bench guy will be really excited about working on, make it easier for that.
Yeah.
Very buildable. Do you agree that you kind of got that from the stuff, or was that what you're getting at?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like some of the tools and builders that are set up in the program don't really cater to jewelry that's actually made to be built.
Okay.
And a lot of jewelers would rather have it be built in a way that would be not necessarily pleasing to the eye, but would be, it'd make them very happy once they get it, like he said. So I feel like I've kind of learned how to put these things together in a way that will, like you said, make my jewelers just ecstatic.
Okay, and I think that you've learned how to be quicker, do things quicker. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely.
What kind of tricks were really good? What did you really like?
I was just kind of using a lot of crutches that I was relying on because I didn't fully understand how to use the program, kind of all the stuff underneath it. I was kind of using these, just different ways of doing things that ended up slowing me down in the long run.
Okay.
So, it's been really good to learn a better way to do it.
Cool. What's your favorite thing I taught you so far?
Probably just teaching me about how the surfaces and everything are actually built within the builders. So understanding how the builders do what they do helps me to, be able to, fix it if
It's not exactly what you want, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So and that not builder too. That was pretty cool.
So why did you come here as opposed to going to a class somewhere else or studying online?
I did try to look some things up online, but I couldn't find anything that was specific to Matrix that was in English or beyond a very, very basic level.
Okay.
And anything that I did find was relying on the builders a lot, which most of the stuff I found I already knew how to do. The reason I chose this class in particular is my jeweler actually learned how to set stones
Right.
and do everything out here with you guys, so he knew that you guys were the best, and he
Cool.
recommended you guys, so here I am, and I understand why now.
I think one of the interesting things is that I've been a jeweler for 45 years. I've worked at the bench for 45 years, and I've been doing CAD for 20 of that. But I had that 15 years of experience carving waxes and setting stones before I started doing CAD. So I always did CAD. My sense with this was always I'm carving a wax that I'm going to work with, not I'm creating a finished piece.
Yeah.
And we talk about things like you can show the milligrain, but it's really better to put a pipe or a tube and run the milligrain tube over it because you really want to achieve that hand look, not that mass production look. So I think that gives me an edge over a lot of these CAD guys. They're incredible artists. We've looked at some of the stuff that you can do in CAD, but it won't come out in the jewelry. Like how fine can you get with the detail? We've looked at some engraving shortcuts too, which I think are really cool. Layout shortcuts, things that really make the jeweler's life easier. And I think the other thing I've taught you, what did you think about the way we do the renderings and the presentations and what? Did you learn some there?
Yeah, absolutely. The interface is kind of a little bit confusing. I didn't understand how to set up the camera to do the depth of field and make really photorealistic images. Even I do know how to do animations and things like
Right.
that, but I could never get them looking the way I wanted them to.
Yeah.
So it's been good to learn how.
That's one of the things that it's hard to understand until you really play with the camera stuff, is that the computer will make the renders look absolutely perfect, but they look so well that the human eye looks at it and goes, that's fake. So then you blur it a little bit, you make it a little less perfect, and then the human eye acknowledges and accepts it as looking like a real photo.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing. That's the two things I see CAD guys do today. They either do completely cheap, fast, quick CAD designs with really horrible renders, or they do over-the-top renders that are so eye-grabbing that sometimes they don't. The customer doesn't really understand what you're building. So I think you've got to do that combination of the mechanical drawing and the render and make the presentation to the customer right. So yeah, I'm glad you have enjoyed this, and I think it's interesting that so many of the classes are not in English. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What did you think about the 2-day format?
The 2-day format was great. It kind of gave me an opportunity to absorb some of the things and come up with some questions that I, ultimately, if it had just been a single day, I wouldn't have been able to think of at the time.
Right.
I always feel like whenever I get done talking to someone, I'm like, I should have asked them this. So it gave me an opportunity to be able to come back and.
You can always contact me later. That's
Absolutely.
something we offer, is the availability to get in touch with us later and ask questions like, what was that you did, or what was that needed? But I did make you make notes, so hopefully that will
Yeah.
help. Well, I'm glad you're here. I hope you learned a lot.
Yeah, I am as well.
All right.
Thank you.